It's just...
Oh, I'm on.
Swing dinghies.
It's not even remotely similar to what I said.
Jimmy Dodgers. Swing dinghies.
Doug's not a part of this ad.
I like how you had like that really old accent. Oh, swing dinghies. It's like you've got the lish of when you've got older. It's like my teeth are falling out because I've eaten too many of those swing dinghies. Laugh, Doug. Guys, this is episode 100.
Don't try and half bring us in, Luke.
Is that a half bring us in?
That wasn't a half. I was trying to get a response out of that, but obviously it doesn't seem like you guys really care too much that we've made it to 100 episodes.
Well, did you even bring party poppers?
Oh, that's a whistle.
You brought a half-dead goat. Goat simulator.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning into the Trusty Crowbar podcast. This is our video podcast and audio podcast about video games.
And audio games.
Do video podcasts exist without audio? Is that a thing?
This is a silent podcast.
So, each time we're like, no. There's like the words that pop up on the screen to read.
What does he say? What was his word?
What was he again?
What was the big one? No. You all laugh. Sounds like, what's the word?
But.
That's it. Good old YouTube, buddy.
Automatic
self-titles.
But.
Self-titles.
I said last time that I was going to say but instead of laughing.
Let's see if we just went to ha 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 ha.
Ben giggles.
So our title could be our video podcast now with audio.
I mean, you made it sound too good.
What's that? Huh?
What's what?
Well, I'm Lucas Whittingslow.
I'm Reese
No,
Whittingslow.
hang on. And sitting next to me to the left is the man in the purple shirt, Reesmus. Next to him, we got the guy that goes green, Hulk Ben Can.
No.
Okay.
You hurt your leg once.
And straight across from me, we have Ray with the Ray-Bans, Dougie Dig Doug, also known as Lassie.
Is that what was written on the first episode of something? Or?
New glasses?
That was a complete throwback.
I
Yeah,
have Ray
the very first
sunglasses.
episode, that's how it got introduced.
As you can see, Doug's not fat anymore.
Hang on.
Doug was never fat.
We
He
only
just
did video
lost a
podcast.
bit of weight. Luke put on. Whatever. Doug lost.
The universe that equals.
You make my really mean things sound funny.
It was just a really awkward silence for like 5 seconds.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez. All right. Anyway, guys, 100 episodes. So thanks everyone for listening to at least 2 of these.
Yeah, or even one, or a bit of one.
Even the introduction.
That counts as a download.
Actually, it does. So it's really good. So this is our, like I said before, video podcast, which we're saying g'day to everyone out there on the internet, and we also are expanding into other things like review videos of products and also videos of us playing games.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
This is probably your most awkward intro.
I feel awkward because it's episode 100. I'm like,
100.
this needs to be really good.
And it feels worse than the first episode. Did you really bring us in like that in the first
psyched
episode?
us out of
Yeah.
It's good.
I should play it. I should have played it.
If you wanted to kill the vibe in the room, you've managed it.
dead.
Dang.
If you're still here,
You've taken the dead horse out the back and flogged it.
The dead horse. It's already dead.
And you kept going. You kept going.
why? Why must it be dead?
I nearly choked
And
on
the
that.
awkwardness kept going.
Have you guys seen there's a game where you are...
There's a game?
where you
That's why
are
we're here.
a skeleton and you have to take selfies. And that's all the
I've
game
heard about
is. You're literally walking around, you're a skeleton, you're like, click, taking a selfie, and you
It's
get
not
to
a
see what it is. No. Well, it is.
Would you play it?
Well, $1.29 is not too much.
That is way too much.
Anything is too much
That's way too
for a
much.
skeleton selfie simulator.
On what?
Jeez.
iPhone,
It's on the
what?
computer. So, what? Doug hasn't got it yet.
iPhone?
Oh, what?
iPhone?
You can already do that on GTA
Yeah.
5.
Maybe you're not a skeleton.
And apparently in WoW coming up soon.
Can you? There'll be selfies in WoW.
The public test realm people saw
Welfies.
the abilities to do that. Yeah.
Good one, Lucas.
Wowfies.
You took you a while to hear that
Did
one.
you say Welfies or Welfies?
Wowfies sound like they're like, you know, we need some money.
They're on welfare.
We need more people to support our game online. There's no more expansions. Just help us out. Welfies. Horrible name.
Yeah. There's also a game where you're a piece of toast.
I am bread, it's called.
I am bread.
That's
And-
really fun to watch people.
No, I'm
do.
pretty sure you're not a piece of toast. You're
No, you're a piece of bread, yeah.
You
Getting
have to
to
become
the
toast.
toaster.
Yeah, you want to toast yourself as much as possible.
SSJ3.
What?
That's Super Saiyan. It's all good.
Super Saiyan.
Did anyone take selfies in GTA?
I would always grab the camera and point it to me, and there's a face that you can pull that makes you go do weird shit. So I was like, oh yeah, that's creepy. I was going to do that for like 5 minutes.
On the PS4 version, like after I like playing the main story arc on PS3, and then
Yeah.
haven't really sunk that much time into PS4 version. But one of the things I did do for a fair while was I'd ridden a motorbike to the top of a mountain and then was trying to take pretty photos. That was really, I don't know how that
Like,
came
I'll
about.
wait for an hour for the sunset to come up.
No, I
and
really was
here we
waiting.
go. Click.
And then I dropped my motorbike and was on the top of a freaking mountain.
And that's annoying. So you just
couldn't
kill yourself
find my
anyway.
motorbike.
No.
You just do your default dive until you hurt yourself.
Rolling constantly down the mountain.
That's the most annoying thing when you just like stand there and all of a sudden you trip and you just keep tumbling and tumbling
Now, I
and
remember
tumbling.
doing that as a kid, and I'm pretty sure I didn't die.
Or tumbling down the mountain.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that you remember doing it means you didn't die.
No.
However, we should point out this is the afterlife.
This is the Afterlife podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is your afterlife, Reese.
Oh,
Hang on, I'll get the book out. This is your afterlife.
speaking of Afterlife, that was a good game.
Oh, yeah. That's one which I would get as soon as it pops up like on
Half-Life.
good old games.
Afterlife.
Afterlife.
It was like a Sims game.
Grim Fandango.
Like a Sim City
No.
game.
Fandango?
No. Fandango.
Yeah, I said that.
No, it's not like that at all. It's a SimCity builder game where you've got heaven at
and
the
hell.
top and hell down the bottom, and then you've got all the little people that pop in and go either way.
Do you control both?
Yeah, yeah. And you can increase one more than the other.
Is there a Purgatory expansion pack or something?
No.
It's called The Sims.
It was pre-DLC. Because Reese talked lots last week, didn't get to speak about Grim Fandango because you cut me off.
Me?
Yep.
The other race.
I did.
So,
Hey.
everyone, just grab a drink. We're going to sit back. Doug's going to talk about Grim Fandango.
So if you want to skip ahead 20 minutes...
Jerkface, have you played it yet?
No, I haven't.
Jesus.
Played other games. Jerk Face. Face Jerk. Tell us about Grim Fandango.
No, I'm going to engage
Yeah.
a dialogue with Lucas. Luke, have you played as well?
I have played it.
Have you played further than last week?
Yeah, I'm stuck at... Oh, shoot.
Dude, man. What are you, now we're going to move forward.
this one too. Smash
I know.
Go, where are you
It's
sitting?
just trying everything.
There you go.
You are nervous for our big Centaurian.
I'm stuck at...
Lucas, there's 100 episodes.
I don't know. What happens in the next 100 really changes everything.
No, it doesn't. Keep going.
Spoilers.
Ben knows.
Now say nothing for the rest of the time. That's your one-liner. Dad.
Yeah, anything from here is downhill. Just like in GTA.
Diving.
That's a good
Grim
reference. Back to-
Fandango, come on.
Grim
back to
Fandango.
it.
Okay, so I'm stuck at a part in the game.
Fantastic.
Did you play it when it first came out?
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember having the game and playing it when it first came out, and I remember putting a fair amount of hours in, but then going back and actually playing it again now, it took me half an hour to get past what I got up to when I was a kid. So I was like, yeah, I totally didn't get very far in this game at all. So,
Controls. It's all about the controls.
well, the controls have changed. Originally, it was tank controls, like, you know, original Resident Evil, where it was like you would have to push right and the character would turn on the spot, and
I heard someone. I went to say words and nothing came out. Tongue tied.
I thought you used to reverse yourself back.
no,
Just
the-
glitching.
The movement controls are absolute to they're tied to the character. So left is always left from the character's perspective.
That's what it was.
regardless, yeah.
Is it now?
Regardless of which way the camera was facing, your character always forward.
No, that's the controllers in the game now.
I think that's what they went to.
No. So
you
there's
sure?
2 control settings. You
Are
can
you
go
both
back.
playing this game
Yeah,
or
yeah.
not?
So the control.
log on and
the,
check.
The control scheme now is ideally how the control of a 3D character would work. Wherever the character's facing you, hit left, they start running left. Okay.
So, like Telltale and all that.
Yes. All right. The original controls of the game was very much Resident Evil, where you would be situated standing on a spot, and if you wanted to go backwards,
You'd have
like
to
turn around,
turn
you would
around
have
and
to
then
hold right. The character would turn
go
all the way
forward.
around, and then you'd hit forward, and they would walk forward.
Yeah.
Gross.
It is very gross. I
you say
changed
there's
it back to that, and I was like, oh.
There's a special Steam, or just a reward, or whatever. What's the trading
Achievement?
card? Achievement. That's the word I wanted.
Not a card?
Yep.
A card or an
You win
achievement?
a car.
Both or what?
Achievement is the word I wanted.
Because you don't get cards every achievement, do you?
No, I don't know.
Probably not.
No.
So just an
I
achievement.
wanted achievement. I couldn't think of the word. Yeah, if you play the whole thing with tank controls.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, far out, no way.
It's called You Sucker.
But I wouldn't even be able to finish the game. Like, I haven't got that far. I told you where I was up to. Whatever. How far through
What's the
the game
story
is
of
that?
Grim Fandango?
Alright, so you, oh God, I forgot his name.
Manny.
You're Manny, and when you go into the afterlife, after you've died, okay, you usually go into the afterlife, and if you're wealthy, you'll have tons of gold with you.
Is it Mexican-ish?
Yeah.
Essentially, it's purgatory would be probably the best, like the middle ground before the next thing.
Purgatory. So you're in the purgatory, okay, and if you were wealthy in life, you would have tons of money, and if you were poor, you'd have nothing at all. And also, depending on how good you were, like if you were really good, you also get bonuses and stuff like this, okay? There are 3 or 4 different ways to get to the afterlife, okay? The first way is just legging it, okay? But it takes 4 years, and you've got to go through the Forbidden Forest and all these other things to get there.
Yeah.
So are you talking about like the end game that's happening here, or is this all like
No, this
knowledge
is the
that you
premise.
already
This is the
know?
premise of the story, right?
So you come into playing the game for the
This
first
is
time.
his
This is
explaining
already
sense of the
established.
world. This is the world in which the game is set.
Yeah.
Is what he's saying. And it is story related, but it's really the world.
The second way is you can get a car, and you get driven there, but it'll take still a fair while. And the third way was a super fast train, which gets you there in 4 days instead of 4 years. Okay, and if you've got tons of money, then you can take the super fast train and you get straight there.
Yep.
You're Manny, who is a salesman for the company, which either supplies you with a walking stick, a car, or the train ride. Okay,
But he's done something really bad in life, which I assume you find out later in the game, as I haven't finished it.
So you got stuck with his job.
Yeah, because he's stuck with this job to try and pay his way off to be able to get into the actual afterlife and stuff.
All right.
And then in typical, probably, games of that era and all adventure games, there's like, hidden, says like, evil corporation or something, stuff happening in the background that you figure out piece by piece.
Yeah.
And obviously it's just a classic adventure
There you go.
puzzle game.
Yeah, so at the start, you're
That is
not
the
really
first
getting...
time that I've ever heard what Grim Fandango is actually.
Same.
Because I'd always seen that he was a death-looking character. So
I thought-
everyone that is
I'm sure that he looks like
skeleton.
more like a
I just assumed he was some
meant to
kind
look-
of skeleton detective or something.
Always, no, I'd seen him with the scythe
Yeah.
before, so I'd always figured it was like
He was
a
death.
death-related
Yeah.
in some way.
So when people go into the afterlife, they're sort of wrapped up in this sack, and then you get your little scythe out and you cut them open and, and let them out.
Is it meant to look all like sugar skulls and stuff, like the Mexican look?
Yeah,
or is it just...
it is. No, it is, definitely.
So is it like a cartel sort of thing?
Yeah. No, well, not cartel, but like that. This is a whole Mexican folklore and stuff of...
Right,
Yeah. All right, so, you have to get clients in, and the more you get commission and stuff based on what you put them through onto if they want to spend all the money and stuff. But so far, like, at the minute, for the past while, you've been getting really terrible clients. Okay? And they've only been able to get, like, walking sticks.
I honestly
or whatever.
feel that anything more that you say about the story, you've gone past what you'd...
Well, okay, it's not too far past because it's very short at the start of the game, but then the follow-on from that is you come across...
I don't know any more of the story.
A
Doug
woman...
just doesn't want anything spoiled for him,
Yeah,
that's
no.
all.
Yeah, but I mean, for anyone that's listening, I figured like that bit there is like the premise of the world and who the character is. But anything else than that,
I'm sort of going on what the trailer sort of shows you as well. So you come across, there's a woman, and then she is like eligible for like the super fast train ticket, but then your computer system doesn't allow it to happen, and then you go off trying to figure out why, and then she's already gone, she's decided to walk, and then you could go after her, and then the game continues from there. So
Right.
There's other stuff which happens in between all that there. But in traditional, like, fun, like, old school adventure game, there's heaps of cool little humour and stuff like that throughout
There's
it.
double fine sort of humour stuff that happens anyway.
Yeah.
But I'd seen that game, like I remember from like PC Power Play magazine days that I used to read, high school. That read about it, it was one of those games that was like 98% sort of thing. I wish that I hadn't have thrown out all the damn PC Power Play magazines because, geez, that would be interesting to read. And like when Voodoo video cards was a thing?
Yeah,
at one stage?
3DS and stuff.
Yeah. Or 3DFX?
3DFX, yeah. Voodoo, I remember Voodoo cards and going like, yeah, they're supposed to be the best, man.
Yeah, there used to be so many more graphics card brands.
Now
and
there's
sound cards used to
two.
be a major thing.
Yeah.
Creative Pro and Sound Blaster.
I remember when the dedicated physics card came out from the video.
and then it became
and then just
integrated.
normal into
There was
it.
only,
Wasn't
I
that long
reckon,
ago.
No.
I reckon there was only one generation.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I
Then it
only
just went
remember-
from, hey, this is a thing, to, oh yeah, now that's just on board.
Yeah.
Like, you would have been filthy. They were like $400 or $500 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So, geez, you would be devastated if you had to purchase one of those.
Well, you could also use just a standard graphics card if your board had a PhysX slot. So you could just, if you bought a new graphics card, put your old one in the PhysX
Oh, really?
slot. Yeah,
Oh,
and then
cool.
use it as that. That wasn't around for very long. It only happened, like a mate of mine only did that once. And then by the next time the next card rolled around, he didn't need it anymore. It was just blew it out of the water.
Yeah, it's
last
just
very
what's
long.
on board, part of every NVIDIA
On board
card.
or on the card, yeah.
But I remember it like got kick-ass reviews, but I perhaps maybe played a demo of it, like Grim Fandango, but it would have been the game, I'd be the same as Lucas, I would have played for ages and ages on the premise that it was a good game and it was fun, but I wouldn't have been able to do anything.
It's
And I
okay.
wouldn't
So
have worked. Like, and I did cheat already, and I feel dirty.
I
for looking
had
up
to as
walkthrough
well.
Stuff.
I honestly had to as well.
It's a sort of game, and it's probably happened now. Although I'm not stuck, I just have played for a bit, haven't found time to go back and play again. But it's like I think I'll play, and you get so frustrated, you just really need to stop playing for like 3 days, and then go back, and you're like fresh set of eyes and redo everything.
Because I was playing for like an hour and a half to 2 hours, just wandering about, trying to figure what am I missing here? I've done everything I can, and then I just got stubborn and like went to the walkthrough, and I was like, and like after reading it, you're just like, I would have figured that out.
It's the kind of game where you have
feel
to
this
move the mouse all over the screen to like find an object you can interact with
Yeah.
that you didn't know.
No,
was
well,
there
what
in the
they've
past,
done
or-
now, what was always in it, so why Tim Schafer went with 10 controls, why he didn't want it to be mouse, is he wanted you to be close to the screen so that you were like more engaged with it.
So it's not
But
necessarily a point and click adventure
it
game?
was never made like
Yeah.
that. It is now.
Oh, okay.
But the character moves his head if it's something that you should look at.
So you can
And
So
then you
I
just get
sort
to
of
look.
have to now. I'm sort of thinking of controlling him more because I'm playing it with a controller now,
Yeah, same.
and it's heaps better.
Yep.
Of controlling him and watching where his head looks down because that's how the game originally intended you to
That
know
subtlety
where.
would have been missed on me as a teenager. They don't explain it in the game. It's only for the fact that I've seen videos with Tim Schafer and him talking about it, and I'm like, well, maybe that would have been in the
Well, they
book.
never had that level of explanation
But
back then.
that said,
Well,
though,
they did. They just
you
had
have-
manuals about,
Yeah, that was
30
insane.
centimetres long, and you went, hey, this is how you click start.
Or the fact that there used to be like prelude in game manuals, like backstory in the book.
Yeah,
And then-
not anymore.
Yeah, now it's just like, then you need to explain everything in game. No one's
You
gonna
can check
read
this
anything.
out on YouTube.
Yeah.
History of Grim Fandango.
So I'm enjoying playing it again, and it's a lot more like compared to the other adventure games that came out back then. I could understand them as a kid, whereas this just went over my head straight away. Like I was like, okay, this is a little bit too adult, orientated.
When did this
There
come
are
out?
some
After
funny
Monkey
jokes
Island?
and stuff.
99?
After Monkey Island.
It was the last LucasArts adventure game Tim Schafer worked on, so it was after all the Monkey Islands, after Full Throttle. It was the one straight after Full Throttle.
Full throttle. Full throttle. Full throttle.
No, Full Throttle.
Full throttle.
Full Throttle.
That's the motorbike. It's about motorbikes.
Thanks for clearing that up.
But. That to me seemed more adult-like than what Grim Fandango would be.
Okay, I'm talking not less in the concept of it and the context. It is more adult, like whereas like in Grim Fandango, whereas Full Throttle, I could understand they're bikers and I know what I sort of have to do. Yeah. Whereas this is a bit more subtle in certain areas. So,
the start to the game, there's no explanation to what you should be doing for a little bit.
Yeah. Like, it's clear, there's a clear difference between the good guys and the bad guys in Full Throttle. Whereas in this is like, there's a corporation and you're working for someone and you've got to figure out, like, your job is the salesman and all this stuff. And I'm just like, hey, I've not had a job before. I have no idea what this is.
Controller. I haven't played with the mouse at all. Did you play mouse?
Yeah, I played it for the first half the game that I've played with mouse point and click because I wanted to try the.
How was that?
Stuff. Yeah, really simple, and it was cool. Like you go over to a certain part, click, and there's 3 options to sort of select from. So.
Yeah, so I've just been playing all with controller on PC,
No.
And then something I did try because obviously. Predominantly they've worked with Sony, so it's PS Vita and PS4. Is it coming at PS3 as well?
I don't think so. I think it's just a Vita and 4.
So when you go into the controller layout, it's a picture of a PlayStation controller for PC though. And then I plugged in my PS4 controller and it just works. It's probably like one of the first games where it's mapped and works on PC.
But it also works with an Xbox 360 controller, because that's what I'm playing with.
Yeah, which that's what I've been playing with.
However, when it's like, press X, and I'm like, I think it's A.
But it's, most games don't work. Like, I was playing Battlefield Hardline over the weekend, and I thought, I'll just try it. And it's like, 360 Xbox One controllers obviously work, like they're made for Windows or whatever. Still no one does PS4. Like, no one is supporting PS4 and PC. And I was like, when PS4 was announced, like, and it's going to work on your computer.
Yeah, they said, work, straight away, plug it in, done.
Which is technically true, but useless. Like,
it does work, it charges.
And that's it.
Let's go back to Battlefield Hardline, Doug.
Yep.
What do you think of it?
Doug, do the reversal again for us.
The Battlefield Hardline beta was out for a couple of days.
Beta or beta?
Is it done now? Was it just weekend?
Beta.
Run really smoothly. It was pretty fun. I probably only played 45 minutes to an hour. Like, I don't know, maybe I've become a bit cynical, but a lot of those games end up feeling really samey.
Yeah.
But it's...
like, playing that, to me...
Oh, you gave it a go as well?
Yeah, I did
cool.
on PlayStation.
Was it like 12 gig or something?
Yeah, 9 gig.
It was 11 on PlayStation.
Yeah, 9 gig for PC and 11 or 12 gig install.
Wow.
I feel like shooting games, multiplayer-wise, just hasn't been a gripping thing in a long time for me.
They've lost their innovation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, Wolfenstein was awesome.
It would have been awesome had you had a crew of people. Like, it's like, I played with Ben and his, like, your group of friends that I tagged in on for a little bit there on Battlefield. What was that? What one were you playing that I played with you like a year ago now?
It would have been Battlefield 3.
What's it?
4?
Battlefield 3? No, it was 3.
Yeah, it would
I
have
have
been 3.
no idea what you're talking about. I remember playing Portal 2 a little bit and Borderlands a tiny bit, but
I played Battlefield with you.
I don't even think Ben owns Battlefield.
Are you sure? Yeah. Who do I play with then? I swear it was you. I so thought I played with
like
you.
1942?
No.
That's the only Battlefield game I ever owned or played. Battlefield 2 as well. That's it.
Yeah. Who did I play with? I swear it was you.
I don't know.
I played games with a friend.
Yeah, alright, well, possibly went crazy.
Driving...
That was really fun.
But it would be... No, it is fun, though, with people you know.
With people, yeah.
And that was like, whoever it was...
I think that's universal across all games.
Yeah, but like specifically these ones.
That's the only reason why Destiny was fun.
Yeah.
Because you played with
Yeah,
friends.
which is why they never played it.
Yeah, exactly. You never said, hey, message, I'm playing Destiny, come play with me.
You're already like way in front of me.
We said we're going to make another character for you.
A new character, Dave.
You little sook. I'm playing Destiny.
Well, we'll play tonight then.
We got some other games to play.
Yeah, but Battlefield, like, again, it just feels like a typical shooter. They did have, like, the vehicles and stuff. I tried to do crash the motorbike. You can't crash a motorbike.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's not...
I drove it in the walls and shit, and nothing happened to me.
Just stayed on it.
Yeah, like, and I tried to, like, go on around, like, you know, when you play, I'm just so used to GTA. You know when you ride a motorbike and you jump up and you kind of tilt and you can control the bike and move it that way in the air?
If you hit anything, you fly.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. Every vehicle in Battlefield feels clunky as shit. At least the cop cars and the motorbikes.
However, it's probably more realistic in terms of like if you're going up and you're flying through the air, you can't turn the vehicle.
You can't turn, but it feels so.
You can do that though. That's what
in a real vehicle.
Have you seen them do tricks
in a car
before?
Yeah, you can move a bike in the air.
Yeah, you're right. Shut up.
Yeah, you can't really do that on GTA and not GTA, Battlefield.
I think they've done it to make...
I admit I am wrong, man.
Thank you.
I honestly thought, yep, little clunky, but it's just for balance. Like that. That's the only... Like, because predominantly it's still, PvP. So it's like if you then had first vehicles as well, I think, and they were really manoeuvrable, because if you hit someone, they die.
Talking about?
Yeah.
Or?
To me, what driving the motorbike was like was literally if they changed the texture to a cardboard box. That's what it felt like, with wheels and an engine. Like, it was just, you'd go forward, you'd go left, you lean, and that's it, and you turn that way.
I was sure you weren't playing Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain.
No, I'm sure. But other than that, like, it's just a shooting game.
And that's
I'm going to be getting it for the single player, because I like Battlefield single player. At least Battlefield 4 single player was sick. Battlefield Hardline will be pretty rad too, I'm pretty sure.
Well, the Hardline one is...
So.
And like, I hope you guys, when you play it, could sort of see where I was coming from what I got to see at conference and stuff, of it being more... it looks more like Far Cry than a Battlefield game.
Yeah.
Actually, there was bits that just reminded me of Payday as well. There's did you play the...
Heist?
Yep.
There was about
fun.
30, probably 15 guys running in the one door, all trying to steal something from something, and then all getting killed.
Yeah, I played
Seemed
it.
to be like, to me, that many people in that type of game seems so overkill.
Yeah.
No, it was... See, should have played it on PC. I feel it's like balanced.
Yeah, there was less people.
No, there was heaps. It was full, like most servers were full, for Australia, and it was good. Like, I thought it was a decent amount of people, and like that initial bit, it's meant to be the hardest bit, and then you get out into the open street.
You've got to remember, this is just the beta of a small portion of the final game.
Yeah, well, this is only multiplayer anyway.
I actually, even though it felt a little samey, like I said, it's something I could see myself playing in the future. And like I said, specifically with people I knew, but that's versus like your Call of Duty. See, I can play that on my own online. That doesn't worry me. I don't think I need to play that and be able to talk.
Like, it's the map so short.
Yeah, it's so like small. A lot faster pace. Whereas, the Battlefield stuff and the little bit I've played when you know someone, that is so much better. Like being able to get in vehicles together, or your mates on the other side of the map and spawn into teams together. Like, that's definitely where that game of any game comes into its own.
Well, it needs a lot more strategy than
exactly, because you can, like, people are so dumb when you play those, and they assume that's, like, I'm terrible skill-wise at those games, so it's just like, so everyone's being stupid and at a control point A, so I'm just going to go to E on the other side of the map and capture that, and totally turns the balance of the game just by you doing something on your own. Yeah. And you're like, how is everyone so stupid?
The one thing that annoys me so much about that is if you nearly get to E and someone kills you because you've run for about 20 minutes so far.
And then they spawn at E and they're like, I haven't even moved yet, and look at that.
Yeah.
And that's where you get on a crappy motorbike race and get to the other side of the map really quick.
You're a genius then, aren't you?
Is this the game that had the animations that were like...
the funny little, here's this bullet cartridge, and...
Did you see any of that?
I didn't see
funny
that.
Funny ones where they flip the barrel and the...
I think I saw one where he pulled out a magazine that was this long.
Yeah.
Just loads it into the gun.
Yeah, there was one where a guy had the force where he went and then just with his hands just controlled it all as well, which is pretty sweet. Looked pretty funny.
That never happened while I was playing.
No, me either. I didn't see any funny things. The 1 in 10,000 chance, that's not that much. Like, you think about how many times people reload in that game and they say 1 in 10,000 chance. Like,
that's...
I bet you there would have been like a couple of million reloads throughout that.
Is it 1 in 10,000 per person or per match with all the people?
I think it's just per reload, I would guess, not per person.
It'd take ages to reload 10,000 times.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't say exactly what the ratio was, Ben. I'm sorry.
I'm sure they did. 1 in 10,000.
Yeah. Reloads.
Again, okay, so Battlefield Hardline, it looks okay, but shooter game, which I'm really keen on getting, comes out this week. Evolve.
That we all should get. Hey, Ben, want to get it on PlayStation 4?
Yeah, no.
dog.
He said, yeah.
He said,
Yeah,
yeah.
heard it here first because I'm cutting the nut out.
Yeah.
I didn't understand a single word of that sentence.
Yeah,
Cut it in half.
Are you getting a tug yet? You going to get
I'll
evolved?
just, yeah.
You can trade in all those games you don't play. No?
I don't own any of them.
No. All Luke's games. You can trade in all Luke's games you don't play.
I think it looks
GTA.
good, but it's just going to be another Destiny that I play with friends for a little bit and then just lose.
I think that'll be it, but I really want to, even for like a month or two, have those experiences that you only get by playing.
But
the
even
game.
worse than Destiny, is it right that you can't do single player? There's no campaign.
would be
or
able to.
I think there's a
one-player,
camp. I think
multiplayer?
there's a single player.
You sure?
Yeah,
I don't
on the back
want-
of the cover it was blue,
But it's not
And I was
anything that
you-
When it first came out, it was touted as being like the first only multiplayer game.
like Destiny.
No, that's not only like the only there was no single player.
Oh, really?
You had to have like 4 people.
I'll check that.
Yeah.
5.
Look, I don't want to buy a game banking on the fact that you will be available in times that I want to play a game. That just isn't going to happen.
If you can get online like Destiny and then play with other people in a raid.
There's
or
a single player mode.
Cool.
But I don't like
Gets a third
playing...
monster and single player mode.
I don't like playing like multiplayer with like that's raids. If I'm not talking to people,
Yeah.
don't like that.
No, you talk to people. You always
I
want
don't
to talk to
like
people.
group-based stuff when it's not people I know.
It feels mechanical.
Yeah, exactly. And
Feel like you're playing with NPCs that are
because then
jumping
you
around like
really
idiots.
checkpoint to checkpoint, go here, do that, and then
Yeah.
it's not.
And then you can't be like, hold up a second, just charging.
Yep.
You can't do that.
And that's not all the anger that we would have at each other.
Yeah, we
It's-
normally scream at each other a lot.
Well,
Like,
it's
that's
funny. It's
why
like
you need to get
got-
involved, 'cause-
you sort of put the anger together against the one other person who's the giant monster.
like visual cleanup. That was good. That
That was
was.
so much, I loved playing that. It was great.
Did we record that? Did anyone record that?
No, I don't think so.
I
No,
really
I-
swore a lot playing
Sure.
that game. That was pretty.
That
fun.
was. Did you play that with us?
Did you feel like true
I heard
janitors?
about it.
Yeah.
Sounded like a lot
Yeah.
of
Are
fun.
you true janitors?
Space Janitor.
Yeah.
Janitor.
We should play that again.
Don't put more games on a list to play.
Yeah. I actually did... What did I do? So, played Battlefield. I also finished the first episode of Life is Strange. Started not Walking Dead, started the Telltale episode 2. And played a shit ton of Rogue Legacy. My
yeah,
God.
I re-downloaded that.
Have you guys...
Started playing it.
Have you played Rogue Legacy
Don't
before?
even know what it is.
It's like an old school side scroller. What are they called? What do you call them?
It's a roguelike.
Roguelike.
Yeah.
Okay, Rogue Legacy. Just side scroller game, which is like all the old school games. Every time you're a character. Every time you die, you pass on all your money to your heir, which then you can pick between which child that you're going to be.
Yeah, there is 3 choices.
Have
Which
you
has-
talked about this before?
Yeah,
Lucas?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
which has different abilities, and then as you go on from that, you can then whatever money you have, you can upgrade your castle, and then the more upgrades, attacks, keeping money. Every time you go into the castle, you run out of money.
Infinity Blade had a loosely very similar aspect to that. Like
Yeah.
every time your character would die,
Yeah.
you'd be the son or the daughter of that
Yeah.
hero,
Right.
and then continue on. Yeah.
That's pretty much how it goes then.
Yeah.
Very similar to that. But every time, like just playing it, every time I died, I just went, oh yeah, I'm doing good. I could get further. And then I just every time you go into the castle, the whole castle changes. It's completely different, unless you have.
Would you call it procedurally generated?
Yes, unless you have an ability which locks the castle down to make it stay that way for
Which
like
costs
2
100
turns.
gold.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't even done that yet.
So in the castle as well there's the main easy castle, okay? But
I
if you
die
keep
in a
travelling north, there's a hard, overmined sort of evil purple area. To the right, there's a forest area, and down below there is the cave.
Yeah.
And
Which have
they're
higher level
they're much harder and much higher level
enemies.
people. So you got to keep upgrading your weapons and everything like that. I think I had it on PC ages ago. Like I bought it ages ago when I really wanted to play it, and I played tons of it. And I had like 50 or 60 different airs and stuff that I'd gone through, and still wasn't able to get into those other areas and actually do good and like fighting. I would go into like the next sort of the screen and into the area and be like run up and like kill one thing, and there'd be like 6 things. I'm like, yeah, I got 10 gold from that. Run back, and then be like, okay, I'm gonna go get some more now.
It's Something that you probably wouldn't even notice, Doug, because you wouldn't even look, but it's free on PlayStation Plus right now.
Oh, really?
PlayStation Network.
Maybe I'll join.
Along with a couple of other pretty cool games, but I actually haven't had a chance to play.
Their free games
Like
really
Thief,
are a lot
yeah.
better than Xbox.
That is... Oh, did you just hear that?
However,
I
didn't
can acknowledge
Xbox...
when things are better.
Yeah,
Didn't
good.
Xbox have...
Hang on, but what about the console?
what did they have?
I've always said that there's heaps of things that are better about the PS4 than the Xbox.
Like the console.
Well, you can't just group it all up.
Except there is one thing which I don't know whether it was speculation or announced or an idea that they had for the Xbox One, but it was streaming your PC games to it.
Windows 10.
Windows
Yeah,
10
that's
it
the
was?
thing, yeah.
It is a real thing? Okay. So
I don't know if it's
The Xbox
streaming.
would just be a Steam box.
The
Yeah.
interviews that I've seen is that they said that games will work seamlessly between Xbox One and Windows 10. I'm not sure that if that
No,
means
they
you
were,
can
in
play
they were
games,
talking streaming.
streaming or playing games on.
So playing
They
your
specifically said streaming. though.
Okay.
your Steam library
I doubt it.
to
Bet
the
you they have
Xbox?
an Xbox Live
Like it's-
library or
What?
something like
No,
that.
other way.
Huh?
Playing your Xbox One through your PC. So you have
What?
your laptop, and you like. I want to do like doing it with your PlayStation with Ben's new phone that he has.
That
Like,
doesn't sound right.
so
You want to
Xbox
go from
One.
your couch
think
to
it
your
was
So
computer
you've
chair.
got a crappy $500 laptop, and your parents are using your TV. So you're like, no worries, mum and dad. Plug in my Xbox controller and stream it to your PC.
That's like the
specifically-
opposite of what anyone wants to do.
No,
Yeah.
that's straight out what
Like
I
that's
think.
the opposite of what I've always wanted to do.
No, I think what they're talking about makes sense. For exact. Well, you just said today,
You-
Lucas.
Doug- no,
you're
no,
like,
Doug,
oh,
you were-
it's pretty cool to stream your PlayStation 4 to your phone.
Yeah, because
Well,
phones are portable.
Yep. How many laptops now or tablets are going to have Windows on them?
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
buy cheap tablets and then you plug in your controller.
Doug, you are absolutely right.
But it's a thing I would use.
That's why you want to get a Surface.
Yes.
Maybe you should wait till the next
But
generation.
I want to get a Surface so I can stream Steam to it.
Yeah.
And I'd use my good computer and can do stuff other places in the
I
house.
stream Steam to my lounge room from my computer room,
Yep.
so I can sit on my couch.
Ooh.
I actually want to buy a PlayStation TV so I can stream my PlayStation 4 from one side of my lounge room to the other.
to your computer desk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no streaming the other way around. which
Why
would
do you
be
have such a problem with sitting on your massively comfortable
No,
couch?
freaking Kristen's always watching TV.
Kick her off. Get another
Not wor-
TV.
It's not worth
Why
it.
don't you have your PlayStation 4 hooked up to your...
I nearly did it over the weekend.
Because that would be ideal.
But then Doug would just never be near his missus.
Um,
That's why I moved my Steam to
I
my
wanna-
lounge room so I can.
I want to
spend
get a
time.
That's why I
couch.
moved my
build
game
your
systems to my
relationship.
bedroom.
Exactly. Like this.
I want to get a couch for this side of the room, like a little two-seater would be perfect, so I can sit there play games. Because I hate sitting on my computer chair; it's so crap.
Buy a good computer chair.
I've looked at that and I've never found one I
Fuck,
like.
Ben?
No, that was the dog. I heard that too. I heard that thing. I was like, I must have been the dogs. But then when you were like, did you fart, Ben? I was like, it must have been Ben.
I thought it was the dog actually growling.
I just thought it was the seat. Grow up.
No, reset it.
Yeah.
Episode 100. Jeez.
Childish.
Can't get past these fart jokes.
Alright, so yeah, I played Life is Strange.
You got it and played it.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Yeah, finished episode 1.
Really far. You finish all these episodes so far.
They're episodes, they don't go for long.
No, they go for longer than what I need.
It's the whole
to
point.
get
They're
to
like,
it. I can.
huh?
How many kids do you have?
I have a white child, very fluffy white child. Alright?
Stays outside for like 8 hours a day.
No, it stays inside and... Hey, your child
when
doesn't
it
leave
poops in the
fur all over
corner,
the place.
he still doesn't pick it up. So
I do.
Charlie's great, but my computer's currently packed up because he had a birthday party.
oh no, yeah.
I had my laptop last night and I opened it up and I've got my Steam library, GOG games, everything on Humble Bundle.
And you just keep buying expansions and stuff.
I thought for a good half an hour and I started maybe 6 different games and played them for about 5 minutes each and then just sat back and thought, I don't want to play anything.
Yeah,
There's
I get into that mood as well.
1,000 games, there's nothing to play.
Yeah, it's like that's what happens when you buy too many games.
That's where I purchased a good $8 game. That's just like
We should
fairly
sorry.
short. Yep.
You're going to say Grow Home.
Yep.
Which is going to be great.
Yeah.
I gave it a bit of a go. But I'm really
Yeah, he
interested
stopped talking.
in.
Hey, no, I didn't.
Tell me you think.
Ben fathered.
So I'm really
yeah.
interested in whether you got your computer back up.
Almost.
Okay. So tell me, are you looking at putting it back up like tonight? Or
Probably if I can tonight. I reckon once I get home,
Yeah.
Charlie and Casey will be asleep, so I'll set it up.
Okay, yeah,
I'll
cool.
spend maybe now. getting
Benny
set up.
doesn't want to hear this.
I know.
He's asking me this
You want me
question.
to stop, so
It's making me really angry.
Wasting valuable
I
minutes.
was literally about to throw
100th
liquid.
episode.
All right,
throw,
well, that's all we got.
drink.
For,
Yeah.
Life is strange. So, like, you can 100% tell that they tried to do what Telltale
What game
are
is
doing.
this?
I thought it was
Life
a
is
game.
Strange. It's a game made by, I can't remember what company is it made it.
Well,
but
Squeenix
published by
published
Square
it.
Enix.
Oh, you were talking about this last week.
last week. Saying I was going to play it, and I did. The
So adventure game. Sorry, like same stuff.
episodic 5-episode adventure game with a story and whatnot. You're a girl that finds out she has the ability to take back time.
Yeah, I made the funny joke about Prince of Persia. Now I'm totally up to
so
speed.
as
I remember now. I was hilarious.
extreme.
If only I could wind back time and undo that.
Yeah, I
You go back and be more eccentric.
would. People have fucking hell.
That was hideous. Everyone on YouTube should rewind that back. Watch that in 1080.
People have described the game as
Like the zoom's right in on my face.
You can't even get it out now. Moving on.
as Gone Home crossed with like The Walking Dead. So in a way, it's got that whole stress
Voyeuristic.
like shit that happens in it at random events. But still, to me, it didn't capture that whole shit's happening, shit's going down. Like
Because
things
you
happen.
could turn back time. You're like, shit's happening, rewind.
Well, you could turn back time. Yeah, exactly. So you can kind of adjust things. And it does come up, when you play Telltale games, Doug, and it says, they will remember this. Mm-hmm. Oh, you
I
turn
turn
it
that
off.
off.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So I'm going to comment on this. So I decided, I don't want
to know.
to know when it's a thing. And also, I initially tried don't show me icons or items.
idea.
That makes the game almost impossible. I turned that off, but I turned that back on. But I didn't tell this is a pivotal moment, because I'm like, I thought it was going to affect how I played.
Usually the pivotal moments are where the people get either really angry or really happy. He'll remember that.
yeah,
Makes
but
you
like, it
second
can't
guess
affect,
the
it
game
can't
all the
affect the
time.
way how you play, because you played it and then it tells you something
No, but
happened.
then I'd be pissed that I chose the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So I'm
How
like,
you chose the wrong thing? It just says they remember it.
yeah,
So
and
this
I'm
one,
like, oh, no,
We don't know if it was the wrong thing.
like
or
this
not.
one will
That's why,
probably
like,
this one
it
will
was
probably
a
annoy you even
decision.
more, because it constantly comes up, and I think it says
Rewind moment coming up.
these actions have consequences. Do you want to rewind time or something like that? So like it's not exactly those words, but it's in that same sort of category.
has the same effect.
Yeah, well, it literally says to you, like, it pretty much says, "You want to rewind time, man? You want to do that?
You sure?
You should. Do you want to come on? You probably should do it." And I'm just like, nah.
So it's
Stuff
like
that
Telltale with an out.
Yeah.
Games with it.
Yeah. But every time something happened, then it didn't feel like hectic. There's a whole story that it's obviously building up to.
He's like walking along and it was like stood on a butterfly and like, do you want to rewind time? Like,
Well, it's like I know
it's not
that's
hectic
what
right
people
now.
say. It's like Gone Home crossed with the butterfly effect, not The Walking Dead. That being said, when the first thing happens, when you freak out and you think you can turn back time, there's a fucking butterfly in it, and you're like, "Oh, a butterfly! What's that? Take photo." So you can take photos and shit. I don't know how many photos.
That's
live
right.
photos
Live
are.
Life is strange. The selfie game.
The butterfly, let's get it in the shot. The bad photo, I'm wasting my Polaroid lenses, I might rewind time so I don't spend so much money. Yeah, so she's like an indie girl.
You're wasting lenses?
Yeah. So this chick's gone back to her hometown where like she used to have her best friend.
Used to.
They apparently didn't talk to each other for many years after she moved away to go to the city. She comes back to do college, so she's 18, comes to do college. She seems like she's about 12 years old, by the way she acts and talks to people. Butterfly! Exactly.
She's skipping up.
I wish I could catch this.
And like, she has the ability when you talk to people and you say something wrong and they're just like, well, man, you're such a loser. And then you can rewind time and be like, yeah, man, like there's a dude you can talk to about skateboard and he's just like, oh, man, come and tell me a trick. And she's like, oh, I don't know anything. He's like, oh, you're such a poser because you say that you know skateboarding. And then like he'll say something about doing a tray flip, which is a 360 flip, which is spinning the board 360 and a kick flip. which you guys, none
I'm
of you guys
happy
will know
that
about
you
that.
just showed us your mad.
Skate background, mate.
Reese is cool. Reese is cool.
And then you can go back in time and you can say, yeah, man, do a tray flip. And like, he's like, oh, man,
So
you're
was
really
that
cool.
was that sort of dialogue option only unlocked after you
Yes.
rewind time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
does it-
really?
Yeah, so you keep your memory.
okay.
Oh, so they try and do they utilise that much, or is that just one of the things where it's like, hey, here's a cool way we utilise it, and then forget to
With
use
any-
it later?
No, normally,
How
like, you
some
can
games
do it
do
a fair
that.
bit. And, like, yeah, I think they might do it a bit further, but normally most of it's in dialogue. But I don't know. You can do it in moments when shit goes down, like someone might punch you, and then you might be like, and then you'd be able to duck it and stuff like that as well. So instead of just having to be quick and getting really pissed off that you're hitting the wrong button in Telltale games, you can go.
It would be great if, after like a few rewinds, you could every choice could have the option of just slapping someone.
Now it
Just
does.
like, and then you, and then like, what was that for? And like, just walk away.
It does. It
And
does.
you end up slapping everyone throughout
They
the
will
game.
remember.
So it has a sequence where you rewind time, and then on this little spiral, it has a little dot which says where like the most relevant point is, and then once you get to that, it goes to another dot, and then that way you know that is where your changes are. So you can rewind to them, but you can go all the way down to the bottom. And when you go to all the way to the bottom, all this red shit starts fading in. I haven't gone all the way to the like rewind time. I don't know if it crushes you and kills you or something.
So that's how it limits your ability to...
Yeah, so you get to a certain point and shit like... You know like how Ashton Kutcher on Butterfly Effect is like flipping out and doing that shit? And then that's what it's like. But you don't see her start bleeding or anything. But it's just time's getting sucked in. You can't go too far back.
Okay.
But
Time
the premise
and
of it
stuff.
is you're just living through your life and you're doing this college thing and all this shit's going down because there's psychos and there's bitches and your best friend and all that shit. But your character also gets shot to the future to like 5 days ahead. So I'm pretty sure each day will be
An episode.
a day getting towards an episode. Yeah, getting towards that end game of what's happening. And I don't really want to spoil about what's going to happen because it shows you, but it shows you right at the start of the game anyway. But it's just
And then it says like 5
big-
days earlier kind of thing? Or...
No, because they only tell you that after, like when it gets to the end of the episode, that it's like 5 days. So not really a spoiler.
That was 5 days earlier.
But yeah, so it's just this catastrophic event that is about to happen.
Is it enjoyable?
It's enjoyable, but not as enjoyable as Telltale.
No.
Yeah. I will keep playing it.
cel-shaded as well.
No, no, it's
It's like
it's animated, but obviously it's a game.
it's more like a Heavy Rain.
Yep.
It would
Not that realistic.
not well. Okay, so not as good as Beyond Two Souls. A little bit less than Heavy Rain. And
Fair
apparently,
bit less than Heavy Rain.
but, oh really?
But they're still trying for the realism.
It looks like Walking Dead without more pastel brushes and without cell shading.
Yep.
That's the easiest way to describe how it looks.
Don't the mouths apparently look really weird?
Horrible.
Oh, really?
Fucking horrible.
Like I watched a video of like her talking to someone and he's like, "What are you doing? You know, I'm just."
They don't even move in time. Like
really?
they expect you just read subtitles and then just hope that you think that their mouths are moving right
Yeah, but
because they're just
Isn't that-
way wrong.
how is that not something that?
Chicken. That's it. Just annoying. But that's my nitpick of that. But other than that, like I'll keep playing it. I'll play it every.
That's
episode.
really weird when it seems like the game would be so heavily dialogue based
Yeah.
to then get that wrong.
Yeah. Started playing.
It's probably like the tree mode.
Yeah. But I did start playing Game of Thrones episode 2,
I was about
which
to ask.
Game
Oh,
straight away just drew me in.
Oh, yeah.
And they've made it a bit quicker in this one because you've already understood a fair amount of characters already. So they've just thrown a bit more action into
Straight
the game
away.
straight
Oh, cool.
away, which is real good.
Do you follow a character from the books?
You
or
fo-
do you, or do you run
You're,
your own
you're
personal-
more based around the Foresters,
Okay.
which are characters that are talked about lightly in the book, but they're not in the book. The Forrester family.
Oh,
So
okay.
they build on pre-existing like lore and
Yeah.
story of the
That's one thing
game of the world.
after not playing the game, and I probably will end up playing it, but the premise of the way they've integrated Game of Thrones with, like, or Telltale have integrated their game.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've used existing characters that they're not, no background or anything's given, but nothing is going to feel consequential because you know it can't affect the overall story of the world.
Yeah, true.
Because that's already preset. But that's probably the difference that I like then of The Walking Dead, is that yeah, they do a couple of nice little cameos of, hey, yep, here's a character from the comic/show, whatever, and you know that you're within that world. But it can be its whole own story, and you don't...
I really
is there
think,
an actual ending to Walking Dead? The
Not
comic?
yet. Not yet.
I really need to
going.
think you need to play this Game of Thrones game because I don't feel like that at all.
No, but that's going to be the thing. Like, for me, my takeaway, regardless of what's happening in each moment, but it's still going to be within that story that's isolated within it. Whereas,
Wouldn't it help that since there's this Forrester family that isn't in the books or the TV show, there is that sense
There's
of...
that whole other side. Like, Game of
Something
Thrones
bad
world
could
is based
happen.
on the TV show, all those characters.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
that-
Where this is
no, but
based
the
on a
world-
completely different area.
what's happening within the world,
Yeah.
for me, feels like there's going to be a specific end to the books
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas Walking Dead, I don't really see, like, the main character... Like, they could finish the storyline of Walking Dead and not be the end of the world. Like, it's just zombies. I couldn't... I'd feel like I might be totally wrong, but I feel like it'd be a cop-out if they said, oh, and here's a cure for zombie stuff within Walking Dead. Like, I
Then
feel...
the Walking Dead game just becomes The Sims.
Maybe they will actually bring aliens into it, like...
No, but do you get what I'm saying? Like, within...
They said...
The two different stories.
yeah.
Like, I think it adapts itself better or lends itself better with The Walking Dead because it can be totally separate and they've just set a really good background like story for it. Whereas I feel like there's going to be an eventual end and all the really big decisions of Game of Thrones like are made between the main families that are in the that are already in it. Like all the wars and things, you're not going to have any influence over that.
I completely feel completely different.
What's
the
time?
Game of Thrones game is literally like a full spin-off. So like whatever happens in the world doesn't even need to be relevant. It's only just like if there's situations that you get to go into, and then you might see characters that you see in
There
the
are
show, and you go
separate wars going on.
Yeah,
Are there references to the books and stuff? And
Yeah,
things like
yeah.
that? Where's it set chronologically? Do you know that, or is it?
I really don't want to say like with the first episode when it starts is like, do you watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah, you really should play this game.
Well, I only heard that the second episode had come out. And I thought I
Yeah.
totally
Oh,
missed
well,
the first one. So
It's set at a pivotal moment.
pivotal.
Pivotal.
Have you played it, Lucas?
I have played it, yeah.
Have you finished the first episode?
No, not yet.
No.
But it's set at
Oh damn! You need to just go home and finish the first
Alright,
episode
I'll
tonight.
do it tonight.
Don't lie to me.
But Reece, is there a lot of characters from the show? Like, how often do they keep popping? I keep seeing a lot of images.
I would say that there's 3 on the first episode that is in the TV show. So there is Tyrion, Cersei,
Xerxes.
Cersei
his
Lannister.
sister, and
Cersei.
Ramsay. Yeah.
Ramsay Snow.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bastard.
The bastard.
So they're in it, but they're completely different. They're stories because you follow like 4 or 5 different characters throughout the game. The first episode, second episode, I'm another character again. No, I'm actually 2 new characters.
That sounds very Game of Thronesy.
2 new
It's
characters.
like we're going to introduce
Yeah.
12 characters because
Exactly.
everyone in episode
Yeah.
1 is dead.
And I don't know any of their fucking names again.
How
so
long did it
annoying.
take you to finish the first episode?
It's about 2.5 hours. It's like two and a half hours to 2 hours. It's literally like 2 episodes you watch on like a TV show.
This is Lucius, Davius, Maximus,
Yeah,
Meridius.
and I'm already 2 new characters in the second episode, but I still feel like this is like I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so good. I can't wait for more. And I'm going to finish it tonight. I'm going to go and play and finish it tonight. It's such a good
Well, I've got it,
Maybe that's
so
why
I
can
might
play
do
it
that
on
as
my
well.
computers
should.
away.
And that's episode 100.
100. Did I use all your time, Doug?
Thanks a lot, Reece. I'm out of here. You're a jerk. Let's talk about Reece's fucking things.
Can that be the name of the episode?
Let's talk about Reese's fucking things. We're going to
you
rewind
later.
that, Doug.
Doug, you were going to talk about Grow Home.
No, I'm not talking
So
about
we'll talk
anything.
about
you
that
didn't get to do
next
that, did
week.
you?
Oh, thanks. Let's talk about everything when it's not fucking
Well, maybe if you
relevant
played more
anymore.
than one game a day, a bloody week, Doug, you'd be able to talk about more. Wouldn't you?
Fuck, I did play 2 things. Fuck
did
hole.
not.
I did.
What'd you call me?
You heard me.
100. This is my last episode. I'm out.
No, we're no longer friends. Going to unfriend you on Facebook.
Go for it. I'll unfriend you. Even the dogs are raised up, Doug.
Yep, you've upset the dogs.
Guys, this was a long 2.5 years.
Yeah. Very long with Doug.
And it's upsetting to call it quits, but we've got to do it.
So Ben is taken over from now on?
Yeah, this is called the Trusty Ben podcast.
That's right. I thought it would be the Ben Crowbar.
No, just kidding. We're not quitting the podcast.
No.
Not just like going to sneak onto it like that. What? We're not going to sneak up.
We're going to sneak that on you? We're going to
Sneak
I
on
think
you.
I know what you're trying to get across. I have no idea.
I think
how to
everyone
say
else
that.
does too. I'm
That's
just
all right.
tired.
I'm Luke Swinningslow.
I'm Reese Whittingslow.
I'm Ben Can.
Douglas Bright.
Thank you.
Signing off.
Thank you for tuning in. We are the Trusty Crowbar.
We are. Like us on Facebook. Review us on iTunes. Even if it's bad. No, don't really give us a bad one.
Retweet a tweet that Doug tweeted about something.
If you've got to the end of
Sounds
this,
like you really struggled to say that.
This
Tweet
has
us.
been your worst
don't listen to Lucas at all.
posting ever. Like, you basically didn't really cover the fact that it was episode 100.
We didn't even introduce ourselves properly at the start of the episode.
You've done the shortest outro ever. Just like, bang, see you later. Like, really, normally speaking, episode 100, you'd probably do a nice little recap at the end.
Useless.
Nah, don't even worry about it.
I think it's just a little bit of performance anxiety about
He
it being
is
the big
struggling.
100.
Performance.
We'll
alright.
get you a pill for that.
Oh no.
Make your podcast last longer.
Some supple.
2 zingers for the episode. Episode title and 2 zingers. There we go.
What I was
Okay.
going to say was one more thing.
Alright.
We're giving away some stuff. We're giving away a pair of Z60 Turtle Beach headsets. Headset.
Headset.
Which
One.
go to our Twitter page
Pair of headset.
or watch the video. Go to YouTube actually and watch the video of the review discussion. and then
YouTube.com/Trusty
you gotta
Crowbar
find the
podcast.
question.
And throw your answer up
do
on,
what we
on
say
Twitter.
to you. And we're also giving away some Turtle Beach Task Force Air Force Sentinel headsets for PS4 and Xbox One. So you can win them too by answering the question as well. Just watch the videos and then you'll know what to do.
There'll be links for it somewhere.
Yeah, probably not. Just go to YouTube. Can't be bothered doing that shit.
YouTube.com, yeah, that'll help.
The Trusty Crowbar. Cool.
That's Ben Can. We're the Trusty Crowbar.